What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of But Does It Spin? And today we are back to Beyblades and we're opening one of this. Y'all, for those of you who have been watching the other episodes, you probably know by now that I have skipped Speedstorm. I used to collect up to Hypersphere, and then I kind of stopped before Speedstorm came out. And then I picked it back up towards the end of Speedstorm. I didn't pick up any of the Speedstorms though. I tried to get some of the Hyperspheres that I was missing, some Ceiling Shocks, and so by then the Quad Drive already came out, and so Speedstorm has been mostly forgotten, mostly left out in my collection. The only Speedstorm that I had until this point was the Sparking Bay, which we did open not in an episode here, but we did a Twitch opening of it where I talked about it and stuff. So we do have that Valtryek from there, and this is my very second Speedstorm Bay. It is Cursed Devolos D6. I do have a soft spot for Devolos. When I moved after quitting my job on the new city that I had moved to, the first Beyblade that I got was Venom Devolos from Hypersphere. So that was my favorite for a while. It wasn't a very great Beyblade for sure, but it was one of my favorite ones, just the look of it and whatnot. So I figured it would only be right that I pick up a Devolos to be one of my first Speedstorm bays. And as you can see, it is a starter set. It does come with that standard ripcord launcher. It is blue this time around, and this is my first of this kind since I didn't have any Speedstorms before. Yeah, cutting the chit chat. As you can see, the drivers for Speedstorm were a little bit taller. That was their gimmick. You can see that it's not round anymore like the Hyperspheres. They were kind of going back to their source material of Takara Tomy, but they were still a lot taller than the Takara Tomy counterparts. That was their gimmick. If you see the arena also, it's very deep. So yeah, it's interesting. They do have the fused forge disc, which I always think look very nice. So we'll have to get this open. Of course, before we do that, it is a right spinning bay. It is a D83 for the forge disc. It is a TSP18 for the driver. No idea what any of that means. I mean, besides the right turning. Right turning means it turns right, of course. But on Speedstorm, apparently they put a burst stat. So it bursts. I don't know if higher number is good or lower number is good. So does one mean it bursts a lot, or does one mean it doesn't burst a lot? I have no idea. They didn't specify that. But attack apparently is not that great in attack. Defense is really good. I'm guessing this is like the Satum. I mean, probably Curse Satum was a thing in Speedstorm. And I'm guessing this balls they spin, or at least in Takara Tomy probably did. But we'll see. We'll have to check once we open it. And yeah, stamina's pretty low. I have no idea what agility is. Is agility how much it moves around? So stamina is low. Agility is okay. Weight is pretty heavy apparently. So we'll have to check it out. It seems okay to me, but of course, these stats usually don't mean too much. So let's get this bad boy open and see if he spins. And we're here with all the components out. Let's take a look at the launcher first. As per usual, this is just a normal ripcord launcher, the basic one from every season of Beyblade Burst. It just changes the color here and the way it looks. It still holds a lot like the Hypersphere one, which I don't like too much. but that's okay. The ripcord is exactly the same. The little two prongs are exactly the same as well. So the performance will be much the same. Nothing will change really. That said, you know, it's an okay one. It's better than nothing. Let's take a look at the layer. This is Cursed Devolos D6. The layer Cursed was originally for Saturn. These little balls, not spheres, little rollers, they do spin, not too freely, I guess, a few more free than others, but they do roll, and the idea is that when it is attacked, the attack gets deflected, so it continues spinning without too much, without getting too impacted by the attack. So that's pretty cool. Devolos always looking super badass. I do like this color scheme quite a bit. Purple on green with somewhat of a gold in there. Very nice. I do like that quite a bit. This is very circular. It's very defensive, very circular, and has the rollers. I do like that quite a bit. Here is the QR code if anyone still needs that. Just from watching here, I can't tell if the slopes are good or not. I never know, but they are there. But yeah, very cool, very cool. This gimmick is not new. This roller thing they had it ever since Bakuten Shoot. They actually had a specific, a Beyblade called Roller Defensor. It was one of the very first Beyblades, and he had two rollers, one on each side. So it's a gimmick, it's an idea that they had ever since the very first era of Bakuten Shoot. So it's interesting that they still have it now. You know, I guess it means it works. And the forged disc is a fused disc. It's 1A. And I have a theory that most of the Speedstorm ones, either they come with a fused disc or they come with metal on their driver. And as you can see here, we do have a fused disc, so we don't have metal on this driver. But this is a perfectly awesome driver. It is a Zephyr. It is a Zephyr, which they also had back in the Metal Saga. It was called a whole flat, and the original Lightning El Drago was famous for having the whole flat, which here is called the Zephyr. I think I think my Meteo El Drago, the Takara Tomy Meteo Drago remake, does have Zephyr on it as well. This is the Speedstorm Zephyr though, so it is taller than the other one, but you know, still a fantastic driver to see. The disc, you know, I don't know, it's not too crazy, I guess, but I think that is to be expected, because you know, I expect it won't be doing much of an attack kind of deal. The slopes do feel okay, not the best, I guess, but not the worst either, at least. Much better than the only other Speedstorm Beyblade that I have, which is Valtryek, Brave Valtryek, and that one did burst quite easily. So compared to that, I think it will do slightly better. But yeah, this is it. Very beautiful to see, I think. The gray does. When I said the colors, I said all the colors except for the gray, but when you look at it as a whole, it is mostly gray, I guess. And that's still very cool to see. Let's take this for a test spin and put it to battle against the only other Speedstorm Bay that I have, the Brave Valtryek V6. Let's go. So here we are at the Speedstorm Arena. I do not have a battle set of Speedstorm yet. Like I mentioned, this is a set that I had kind of skipped over and just recently getting into it. So let's try some test spin with the ripcord launcher that it came with. Let it rip. It does have a sort of an attack pattern from the Zephyr, which is to be expected. That said, it is moving mostly to the center because the way this arena is, the middle does have a big dip in it. That said, you know, it was an okay. It has a decent attack pattern, and the stamina was sort of okay too. So let's try to do a battle against Brave Valtryek. Now, Brave Valtryek, from what I remember, he wasn't too great in stamina and burst. He was only good in attack, so we'll see how this goes. Let's go with Devolos first, because I suspect Devolos will do much better, and we will be using our quad drive string launcher so that we can launch faster one after the other. Let it go. There are some big hits. And Devolos won. There were some big hits, but I suspect that the roller did have an effect. Devolos didn't seem to get hit back too much. We'll try again. Let it hit. You can see that Devolos doesn't get pushed back too much, even when it's getting hit. Devolos doesn't get pushed back too much, even when it's getting hit. And Devolos burst Valtryek. Like I said, the slopes are not that great on Valtryek at all, which is very sad since he's the main boy. I expected him to do better. I'm guessing his forge disc also, it's super light in comparison. Yeah, so you can see that the slopes are not that great at all. And his attacks were being absorbed by the rollers, well, deflected by the rollers. So that didn't have much of an effect either. Let's do one last round. Let it rip. Let it rip. And that was a quick burst from Devolos. I do like Devolos quite a bit. I mean, it could be that it's just Valtryek that is not that great of a Beyblade, but I think Devolos did fantastic either way. Definitely, out of these two, definitely the one I like better. And yeah, that's what I had to show you. Thank you guys for watching. Drop down a like if you like this content, and subscribe for more content like this. We will be bringing more Beyblades and more spinning toys, mostly, I guess, spin tops, to this channel and to this series. So stay tuned, and until then, stay nerdy, guys.